Everything you've been told about how to change your life is incomplete. And that's probably why, despite all the books you've read, videos you've watched, and promises you've made, nothing really changes. Because the truth is, there are invisible mental shortcuts running in the background, simple psychological tricks that almost no one talks about. But the people who master them, they get results that seem unfair. They sell more. They influence better. They speak, and people listen. Not because they're smarter or luckier, but because they learned how to play the right mental game. And if you feel stuck, like your life is a car with the handbrake on, it might be because you've been running the wrong mental program. In this video, you're going to learn 3 mental tricks that are so subtle, so powerful, they can literally rewire the way you think, decide, and act. And when that happens, everything else changes. Your career, your confidence, your relationships. But there's one thing you should know. These tricks are so effective, your brain will try to reject them because they don't tell you what you want to hear. They tell you the truth. And truth, at first, hurts. But if you can face that discomfort, you'll unlock a kind of clarity and control most people never experience. Real freedom, real power, real direction. So if you're ready to break out of the cycle of frustration and finally take control of your own mind, pay close attention. Because this first mental trick might sound completely backwards, but it exposes the invisible mistakes sabotaging your decisions every single day. And you don't even know it's happening. Mental trick number 1. You don't need more motivation. You need less friction. That sounds backwards, right? Most people think they're stuck because they're not motivated enough. They blame themselves for being lazy, distracted, undisciplined. But here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable. You can't depend on it. It comes and goes. It's a mood swing, not a strategy. High performers, the people who actually get things done, they don't rely on motivation. They design their lives to remove friction. Think about it. What's easier? Going to the gym across town when it's raining, or rolling out of bed and doing 20 push-ups in your bedroom? The difference isn't willpower, it's friction. Most people set goals that sound impressive but are too far from where they are, and so they never start. Or they start and stop. Again and again. That failure loop becomes part of their identity. I'm just not consistent. I guess I'm not disciplined enough. But it's not you. It's the system around you. If doing something feels hard, your brain looks for any excuse to avoid it. So here's the trick. Instead of trying to push harder, make it easier to start. Strip away every ounce of friction. Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow. Want to drink more water? Leave a glass by your laptop. Want to stop scrolling at night? Delete the app. Hide the phone. Most people wait for some magical surge of energy to save them. But winners build environments that make action automatic. And here's the wild part. Once action becomes easy, motivation shows up anyway. It's not the spark that gets you going. It's the fuel that keeps you going after you've already started. This trick changes everything because it shifts the burden off your willpower and puts it on your surroundings. Your brain isn't lazy. It's efficient. It wants to take the path of least resistance. So give it one. Make the right thing the easy thing, and watch how fast your life changes. Because the truth is, you're not broken. You're just operating in an environment built for failure. Change that, and you'll realize you were capable this whole time. Now, get ready. Because the next mental trick will completely flip the way you think about control, confidence, and power. Mental trick number 2. You don't control your thoughts. You control what you focus on. Let that sink in for a second. You can't control the first thought that pops into your mind. You can't stop anxiety from showing up. or insecurity, or fear. That voice in your head, it's not asking for permission. But here's the shift. You can control what you choose to feed. Focus is power. And whatever you give your focus to grows. If you focus on fear, it multiplies. If you focus on what you lack, your brain amplifies the gap. But if you shift your focus, even slightly, your entire experience changes. It's like adjusting a camera lens. Same scene. Different clarity. Different meaning. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt confident? You didn't force the feeling. It came naturally, because you were focused on something empowering. Maybe a memory, a win, a goal. The trick isn't to eliminate the negative voice. It's to turn down its volume by tuning into a different signal. Here's a simple way to do it. Ask better questions. Instead of, "Why do I always screw this up?" Try, "What's one thing I did right today?" Your brain will find answers to whatever question you give it. That's how it's wired. So feed it questions that build you, not ones that break you. You don't need a perfect mind. You need a focused one. Because thoughts come and go like waves. But focus is the surfboard you ride them with. And once you learn how to ride, you stop drowning. You stop feeling out of control. You stop believing that you are your thoughts. You're not. You're the one watching them. And the one who decides which ones get to stay. Master this. And you'll never see overthinking the same way again. But we're not done yet. The final mental trick. It's the one that turns pain into progress. And it's something 99% of people run away from their entire lives. Mental trick number 3. The pain you're avoiding is your biggest opportunity for growth. Read that again. Not your goals. Not your dreams. Your pain. Because pain is a signal. And every time you run from it, you miss the message. Most people avoid discomfort like it's the enemy. But what if discomfort is actually your invitation? Your insecurity about not being good enough. That's pointing to a skill you haven't built yet. Your fear of being judged? That's highlighting where you've given other people too much power over your identity. Your procrastination? That's not laziness. It's protection. A shield against failure. But here's the twist. Every time you lean into that discomfort, not ignore it, not numb it, but actually face it, you grow. You realize that pain isn't permanent. That fear dissolves when you name it. That self-doubt fades when you act in spite of it. The trick is not to chase comfort. The trick is to build the kind of strength that makes you uncomfortable on purpose. Because once you stop avoiding the hard things, life gets easier. Not because life changed, but because you did. So here's the question you need to ask yourself right now. What pain have I been avoiding? Whatever just came to your mind. That's where the work begins. Not next month. Not Monday. Not when you feel ready. Now you don't need more time. You need more truth. Because the life you want isn't on the other side of motivation. It's on the other side of your most honest choice. These 3 mental tricks aren't magic, but they will feel magical. The moment you stop watching and start doing. If you made it this far, you're not like most people. Most people don't want truth. They want comfort. But you chose to see things differently. You saw that motivation is just a spark. That focus is your real power. And that the pain you've been avoiding is actually your path forward. That kind of awareness, that changes people. And if just one part of this video hits something real inside you, then don't let that energy fade. Write something down. Make a move. Say no to something that drains you, or yes to something you've been afraid to start. Because real change doesn't start with information. It starts with intention. And now, you have that. So if you're serious about creating a better version of yourself, don't do it alone. Subscribe. Join this space. Drop a comment with the one idea that hit you the hardest. And maybe send this to someone who's been stuck too long, because sometimes all it takes is one mental shift to change everything. Subscribe to MindArchitect for more tools, strategies, and stories to help you take full control of your mind and your life. You're not just watching content anymore. You're becoming the architect. Let's go.